So, emotional intelligence. Now, I hear that everywhere. I started hearing it from my father. Okay. My father used to be a manager in human development department of NMPC over nearly 30 years ago now. He retired about 20 years ago. Right. So
Great.
I started hearing that from him because they did a lot of training on that, and I attended
Wow.
a few of them in those days. So I was opportune to l- learn those things maybe very early compared to most people. Okay, now
Yeah.
now
Mm, mm,
learning
mm.
emotional intelligence was great, and I started using it. Now, I'm not an expert. I still have my feelings. Okay. So you do this, teach people how to embrace this. Please tell
Mm.
us a little bit more of the things you teach people and help people, especially youths, to do.
Mm. Challenging one. And they'll explain. Not challenging to knowing okay, so let me put it this way. Emotional intelligence is vast and
Yes,
embraces.
it is.
It covers many things. Now, on the streets there, because the word has become popular in recent years, everybody bandies the word with their own peculiar meanings.
Mm,
And lots of times, what they are saying has nothing to do with what emotional intelligence even has to say.
okay.
And then sometimes they narrow it to one particular area and they just say you need to have emotional intelligence. And anyone's vast versed in emotional intelligence will wonder precisely what is that?
Yes.
Because there are five major emotional intelligence covers every aspect of human understanding
Interactions. Yeah.
and interaction. It's put into five buckets, five major pillars of
Okay.
emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness, and that's the starting point. If
Yes.
I don't understand myself, where I'm coming from, why I think the way I think, I feel the way I feel, I'm able to grasp who I am, what made me, why am I this way? If I don't understand the complex background factors, the choices, and all, which is what self-awareness is, I'm going to struggle with every other thing. I'm just
Yes.
going to stumble along the line, through life. So it all starts with self-awareness. Who am I? What made me who I am today? And then who can I become? Because if I understand the fundamentals of how I got here, I can now realize the great power of choice that I have, which I might not have been using, and know how to move forward the
Yeah.
way I want to move forward. So self-awareness is number one. Then there's self-management.
Okay.
If I've discovered who I am, this great machine, this great computer that I am, I now have to acquire tools to manage this being, to optimize my value, my performance, my delivery, my interactions, to optimize the great tools that are embedded within me, self-management. Then the fourth pillar, self-motivation, which is one of the things that we are scheduled to talk about today.
Yes.
One is emotional resilience. The other one is self-motivation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We want to look at self-motivation, the ability to motivate myself, to be in charge of my motivation, know how to use it, when to use it, without being dependent on external factors,
Yeah.
which is a rare skill, but a great skill. If I want to talk about motivation, in our pre-chat, you and I, we identified that most people misunderstand what motivation is. They think it's that thing from outside, stimulated by external factors,
Yeah.
and it's not. External factors could enable it, could ginger it, but it's not dependent on that. But don't let me go into a full-blown scheme yet on motivation. And then, so when we've looked at the three, emotional intelligence is divided into three domains, total of five competencies. The first three competencies have to do with me, self awareness, self-management, self-motivation, me, self.
Yeah.
The next two domains have to do with others,
Yeah.
because then you would move to empathy, which I love to call the human connection. Empathy helps me to connect with others, understand them, know what motivates them. Empathy. And then the fifth one, social skills, how to relate with others in a meaningful way. So, to summarize emotional intelligence, you want to say, is that ability to understand myself and to manage myself, then to understand others and to manage others.
Very good.
That is, it's simplistic, but it's embracing.
See,
That is
I
emotional.
would tell you, you have dissected emotional intelligence in a way that anybody can understand. Very simple. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now,
Thank you very much.